Stockton, Scott Olson. We're going to play some Mega Man 7. It's going to be pretty great.
It is.
Now, before you jump into the epicness that is Mega Man 7, let's give a brief rundown of who Mega Man is, for those who don't know. We should all know, but there might be some babies watching who don't know. So, Mega Man himself was created by Dr. Light, year 20XX. Basically, he was Dr. Light's crowning achievement. He's an artificially intelligent robot. He's got a conscience. He's got a heart. He's just an all-around good guy, a good man, even. And so, now he's going to go save the world. Let's see him do it.
Let's do it. So we have a restore point set up here for right before the Robot Museum. And this takes place after you've beaten the first 4 Robot Masters in the game.
Yep. Restore points, something you're pretty familiar with. Scott is one of our guys in the Treehouse AV department who puts together a lot of video for the Virtual Console releases. So
Ethan and I would never use restore points.
No, of course not.
Not ever. We're way too hardcore.
So go ahead, and this stage is super cool for any fans who know the series. The music itself is a throwback to the old games. There's some tunes in here from Mega Man 1, 2, and 3. And you can see different Robot Masters in the containers. There's Pharaoh Man, Heat Man.
Looks like I've killed you and I've killed you.
Yeah, no big thing.
And encased you in glass.
Yeah.
And then Wily shows up, just as he's escaping with Guts Man here from Mega Man 1.
You can tell why he's called Wily when you see those eyebrows go like that.
Yeah. And then he sends...
He uses the same old spaceship, too, throughout the series.
You know,
if you had a spaceship, would you switch it out?
No, probably not.
So he sends us this clown thing, which I like to believe is kind of the precursor to Clown Man in Mega Man 8.
I think...
Wily decided maybe the head shouldn't pop off, and so they decided to modify that later. What we're using here is we're using the Danger Wrap, which is from one of the previous Robot Masters. And in using this, you can just destroy this guy really quick. No problem.
And the cool thing about the Danger Wrap is that it's actually one of Mega Man's moves in Super Smash Bros., which he's playable in. Yay!
Yeah, finally.
Finally. We'll be playing some of that later.
So one of the things in this game, after you finish each stage, Mega Man comes back to Dr. Light. In the previous games, or Papa Light, whatever, you know. And they have a little chat about, hey, what's going on, or tell him about the weapon that he got. You know, here he came home just so Dr. Light could say, hey, get back out there and get to work.
It's never enough.
Yeah.
It's never enough.
He's hard to please.
Yeah.
And I mean, right away you jumped in and we got to see that classic Mega Man pattern, which they really put into games, which was going into a stage, making your way through, fighting a boss, getting a power, and then using that power later to defeat other bosses really easily, make your way through stages easier than you could before. It's almost, I kind of want to call it like an RPG mechanic because your character is progressing and getting new powers, but a lot of games went on to use this.
Yeah, and each boss is weak to a specific power.
Right.
And that's one of my favorite things about Mega Man is that you can play however you please. You can choose which boss you want to go after first. You can choose whichever abilities you want to get through the stage using, or you can not use any abilities at all. And just go cold, Buster only.
That's totally up to you.
It's totally your choice.
One of the cool things in this stage here, these little pylon guys, so I'll switch off here. They're normally invincible against the regular Mega Buster, but again, we bring out that Danger Wrap, and you can just throw them in a bubble and just send them out.
And what I love, in probably my favorite game in the series is Mega Man 2 or Mega Man 3 for the NES, and at the time, you didn't have shoulder buttons, those L and R buttons, so you had to go into a menu like that every time you wanted to switch your weapons.
So for a second,
quick
that was
throwback
Rush.
here. Yeah.
What was that?
So this is the Super Adapter, and this was actually shown in Mega Man 6 for the first time, where Rush and Mega Man just kind of merged to become, more than meets the eye, if you will.
Yes.
And so here, this gives us the ability to use his jetpack.
Okay.
And this is unlocked because we found the Rush circuits. We're going to see here later.
All right.
We're going to have a little cameo from someone who's going to call it out. And when you have all 4 of those letters from the first 4 Robot Masters, you unlock the ability here. And speaking of Rush abilities, we're going to actually use them a second time.
Right.
And use a new one for Mega Man 7, Rush Search.
It seems like there's...
Speaking of Rush, he's so cute.
I know, he's adorable.
Let's just take a moment to look at how amazing that dog is. Okay, I feel better. Let's go.
This series has always been known for cuteness. Like, back in the original games on the NES, that was the thing that always wowed me as a kid, was just like how good the bosses looked. They had this really unique cartoony style to them.
That's a personality.
And I knew Rush from the NES games. I actually haven't played through this game, so it seems like he's expanded more, like his uses are sort of expanded more.
You know that whistle. That's Proto Man.
And here comes Proto Man, and he's the robot made before Mega Man.
Right.
Yeah, he was actually the prototype robot before Mega Man. But
he's got a bit of a chip on his shoulder.
He went a little kooky. He ran off, presumed dead, and then Dr. Wily got a hold of him, and that never leads to any good.
No.
Right.
He used that technology to make Cyber Joe, which, I mean, bad news for everyone.
You know so much about Mega Man. It astounds
My brain
me.
explodes with Mega knowledge.
Just to go back, that power-up we got with Rust Search was actually the Rocket Punch upgrade.
Okay.
And we're going to see that in one of the later stages. It allows the Rocket Punch attack when you're using the Super Adapter to heat seek a little bit when you're fighting enemies.
Right.
And then we're going to actually put that to use when we get to Shade Man stage.
I don't think we've mentioned yet is one of the really cool things about this game in particular is that all Mega nerds like us know that Mega Man games have this really cool, crazy story going through all of them. But if you're not really paying attention, you can sort of miss it. They all stand alone really well.
The main attraction.
But this game actually continues directly from Mega Man 6.
Yeah.
At the end of Mega Man 6, Dr. Wily gets his comeuppance. He ends up in jail, probably where he belongs, but he had fell safe in place. Of course he did. He's evil. They do those things.
Right.
So if he didn't get in contact with these 4 robots after a certain amount of time, they'd come and bust him out, and then they'd go be all Wily together. And that's what happens.
That's where we're at now.
That's where we are now.
That boss back there, great example of Mega Man bosses. A huge robotic semi-truck that shoots mini flying semi-trucks out of its mouth.
Yeah.
So,
I'm going to go out on a limb and say my favorite semi-truck ever.
yeah, it's probably
Think so.
up there, top 3 at least. So where are we at now?
So we are at Turbo Man here,
Okay.
and we're going to be using the Mega Buster on him. We don't have his weakness quite yet. Just cut that
Okay, so
stride.
you're just going plain Mega Buster.
And the trick with this guy, I had so much trouble with him when I was practicing this. And what you're really listening for is the tire squeal.
Yes.
Make
So
them
right there,
squeal
see how it
strut.
starts, then you kind of pause for a second, you jump, and it makes him so much easier. And when I was first playing him, I was actually listening to that engine rev he does, because I thought
Right.
that was the telltale sign. And like you were saying, it's one of those things you just kind of play the bosses over and over.
And that's really the wonderful thing about Mega Man boxes. When you first go up against them, you're like, this is impossible. There's no way to beat this.
Right.
And then once you finally get the hang of it, it's like a piece of cake.
And I don't know. For me, that was the feeling of accomplishment old games gave you, was you really feel like, once you encounter this boss, it's impossible, shuts you down numerous times, and then you've done something when you've learned its patterns, memorized all the tricks you need to beat it. So.
True gamer grit right there.
Exactly.
Pay attention, kids.
You can learn something. Yay. Whoop, whoop, whoop.
Defeating
Alright,
Turbo Man makes me wonder if Robot Masters
I'll stop
dream of
making that
Electric
wop
Sheep
wop
Man.
sound eventually.
Was that a little sci-fi reference?
A little
there?
sci-fi reference, yeah.
It was funny. Yeah.
So you just absorbed Turbo Man's power.
Yep, we got the Scorch Wheel here. And so he's checking it out with Dr. Light, and Dr. Light's all like, yeah, it does this, but it also does this, the more you know. And then they
was
kind of
like,
punch in
just
this
be
cool,
happy with me for once
why can't
in
you
your
love
life.
me like you love Proto Man?
What do you think happened to Proto Man? You didn't encourage him.
You got Scorch Wheel.
So the Scorch Wheel, we're not going to
good.
show Slash Man stage in this run, but
Yeah.
if we were, you can use the Scorch Wheel there to actually find Beat. And you can burn some of the trees in the stage, and there's a hidden ladder in there.
The beat
which
is
really
Mega Man's
cool.
bird.
Yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Bells him out of trouble, like birds
So-
should do.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's all good birds.
So
Yeah.
let's take our time in Shade Man stage.
Yeah.
And you had something to tell us
Absolutely.
about, I think, before we got into it.
Yeah, well, let me jump in for Shade Man real quick. A little thing, if you hold down the B button
Yeah.
and then press Y when you select the stage,
Yeah.
you get a different theme here.
Right.
Oh, he's such a gentleman. He's like, I'm
Yes,
going to kill you, but I'm
bows
going to
and-
bow about it.
It's a classic, just old game Easter egg. Like, who would know that? But
Yeah.
once you do,
If someone does it,
it
they
makes
tell
its
their
way
friend, he
around
tells their
around
friend.
the playground at recess time, and then soon everybody knows.
Yeah. And if you listen, you might recognize this is actually a remix of the theme to Super Ghouls and Ghosts.
Another classic
Another
Capcom
Capcom classic, yeah.
series.
You also
Awesome.
notice amazing zombie robots.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
It
gotta
makes
wonder.
sense. It makes all the sense.
You gotta wonder how much time you spent like making the robot look decrepit. Like, let's not make it look new. Let's make it look kind of old. One tip with these guys here. So the first helmet's gonna actually pop off on the third statue, and then after that, it's the second statue. So this guy here is gonna say hello. And they're normally invincible until they're open their eyes. And again, we're using so much of the danger wrap here and also the junk shield previously. Just be like, here, you be in a bubble, you go over there.
You bubble them and then you
Yeah.
blow them up.
And it's no problem.
Yeah.
Generally. Good life lesson.
Yeah, you got to appreciate Dr. Wily's dedication to a theme in
Oh, yeah.
his stages. I mean,
He goes all out.
he makes robots, but he's got torn curtains back there. There's some creepy
it's
eyes.
not just
going on
a
in the
job, it's a
background.
passion for
It
him.
is, yeah.
But I want to know the story behind
It
those
may be a
creepy
lifestyle.
blinky guys in the background.
I know.
They never attack you. They don't
No.
seem to mean any harm.
Yeah.
They're just kind of being creepy and
Yeah.
blinking at you.
And I was thinking about that more. Do you suppose they're robots too?
Whoa.
You may never know.
Yeah.
Never know.
It's
Get
just
to the
one of
bottom
those
of that.
questions.
Yeah.
Let us know.
So we're coming up on a sub-boss in this stage, another thing that you didn't see in Mega Man stages all that often. And the significance of this guy, before I go in, is that depending on how you defeat him determines which way you go in the stage. So you defeat him one way, it opens one path. Defeat him a different way, it opens another.
And that was something that I think had started to make its way into the series, this sort of like, you know, multiple pathways through a stage, like in some of the X games. Which had actually come out, I think the first two maybe had come out before this on the Super Nintendo. But you didn't really see that in the early Mega Man games on the NES as much.
It came on to become something of Mega Man staple, even in other series, you know, Battle Network, Zero. They're all just tons of hidden secrets and things to find in different paths. So.
And before I finish this guy off, the one thing we're really aiming for here is the core.
Right. Shoot the core.
And that, exactly. And then he's going to take a second. I love that this boss pauses. He thinks, and he's like, you know what? I want to blow up over here.
It's considerate. It's thoughtful.
And so here we have a Sniper Joe, which Audrey mentioned previously. It's been said that Proto Man was based, well, I should say Sniper Joe was based off of Proto Man when Dr. Wily was fixing him up. And I kind of think this might be just a subtle nod that there's something here.
Yeah.
And so we're going to go through, and otherwise you wouldn't know. It's just a fake wall.
We'll know if we hear that whistle.
Yeah.
What whistle?
And of course this room's awesome because it has so many eyes.
That whistle. And that darn stylish scarf.
Yeah.
Makes all the other robots jealous.
For sure. He's all GQ there, kind of holding, what's up? You want to play some tennis, Mega Man? Probably not. I don't think you're cool enough.
Each of us father made stronger.
Yeah.
Wow, that's your Proto Man, huh? I can dig it. I can dig it. It's different for everyone to find our own inner Proto Man.
Yeah. So with Proto Man, you can almost get him stuck in kind of a pattern here. Every time you throw a charge shot, he'll usually respond with a dash.
Yeah.
He spent too much time getting dressed and not thinking about his pattern.
Yeah.
I like how Scott is kind of being our gameplay counselor from back in the day. Like, he's giving us all the tips and tricks.
When you called the Nintendo line, it was Scott who answered.
Right. Yeah.
Speaking of Scotts, Scott Wilson sucks at this game. Just throwing that out there.
Oh, really?
Calling it out.
Confirmed.
All right.
Back to Mega Man 7.
All right. Fair enough.
Tip.
Audrey just had to get that out there.
Just had to get that off my
Let
chest.
the world know.
They needed to know. I couldn't lie any longer. You're really wailing on Proto Man there.
I know, I kind of feel bad. Like,
No
I feel
wonder
like I
he
should
doesn't
let
feel
him have a
brotherly
few
love.
hits here to feel better.
Yeah.
Like, it's okay,
First
man.
you
You're
took
doing
his
all right.
daddy, now you're taking his dignity.
Yeah.
It's fine.
Okay. Looks
You
like
earned
this
some
fight is over.
respect, though.
Yeah. And again, it's still with Proto Man. We beat him, but
Maybe
he
you
stops
are
the
the
fight.
superior
He's like, you know what?
model
I just don't
Mega
feel like
Man.
fighting. Like, you
Like,
didn't really
I could
beat me.
you, but I'm just
Yeah.
gonna stop fighting.
Yeah,
Cool.
it's cool. I'm just, you know,
All right.
I'm over it.
So what's he giving you now?
Here,
So he's
take
going to
this
hand
with you.
over,
I think that's
bam,
how he
the
did it.
Proto Shield.
Nice.
He's
that's
totally
very-
going to use it for his Proto Man cosplay later.
It's going to be so
It's gonna
good
be
with
so
it.
great.
Yeah, he didn't know what to do with
He's got a
it.
little yellow towel he ties
Oh.
around his neck.
Boy, you guys and your Mega Man fan fiction. I tell you.
God, I wasn't supposed to say that out loud. So you heard nothing,
That's all right.
world.
So we got
Okay.
the Proto Shield here, and this is cool. This is super iconic. You know, Proto Man's known for this.
Yep.
Yeah.
And now that we have it, we'll just throw it on here real quick.
Okay.
You get it.
He's
we
so
did.
excited. He's like, yay!
He is.
Now Daddy will love me.
Exactly. Same thing. So now that we have the shield here, you kind of have the iconic. If you're shooting, you know, when you're not, you can block shots and things like that.
Yeah.
But not when you're running, interestingly enough.
And they're still blinking in the background.
Yeah.
Go home,
Yeah.
guys.
Yeah,
Get
the
alive.
show's over. I don't know.
Really?
So we're going to go ahead and I want to show off the second path. And the fastest way to do that is actually to lose a life here because it'll restart us right before the pumpkin.
It hurts. I can't
know.
watch.
It does.
I
But this
know.
Sniper
Make it
Joe, he's going to be
stop.
so... I mean, this is making his whole day.
This is
Yeah.
whole day. It's
Right
like, wait till I tell
Finally,
Wily.
I beat the blue bomber.
I did it, you guys. Oh, he came back.
Yeah.
Oh, those extra lives.
That's inconsiderate.
Wily could have spent a little more and given his robots extra lives, but, you know.
Okay, so we're back at Pumpkin
That's why I
Boss.
let him
And this time we're going to actually target the eyes.
Okay.
And so we're going to ignore the core here, shooting what I've always thought of as green pumpkin seeds.
Yeah. They're probably also
Really?
robotic.
Whoa. You're going to sprout all these terrible pumpkin monsters
Yeah.
everywhere.
So this time he's like, fine, I'm just going to blow up on the right wall. How do you like me now? And left a bolt for us, too.
Yeah.
Ah,
So,
zombie.
bolts in this game. Another thing, Audrey, is this the first
Yeah, so
game
this
that had
is the
bolts?
very
or?
first Mega Man game that had a store. And you use the... I mean, obviously, you're a robot. You can use
Right.
bolts as currency. You don't have any cash or paper money. You're above that. You're going to use bolts.
You know what?
So we're
It's
really
the
fast.
currency of the future,
Yeah.
basically.
I'm gonna
It's
double
currency
back.
of the future.
Yeah,
But yeah,
Because there's
You
an extra
got
life
time.
over here, and let's use Rush Coil while we're here.
yeah,
Do it.
so
Bring him
Auto
out
runs
again.
the shop.
So I remember
Can
Rush
I reach
Coil
it?
from back in the day.
Oh, I can't. Rush Coil, I'm sorry. Thanks for playing. Let's
That's
move
okay.
on.
Now you made him feel bad.
That's okay.
He's been involved, you know? It's not so
Yeah.
much about if he succeeds or not, just that he
Right.
was present.
So, but yeah, that shop gives you just one more way to upgrade Mega Man.
Dr.
In addition to the
auto runs
weapons
the shop,
you get
and you can buy extra lives, all kinds of cool things to help you on your adventure.
Another cool effect of the stage, when the clouds move over the moon here, it just sort of darkens everything.
That's awesome.
And it doesn't affect, it doesn't block everything out. You can still see,
adds
but
to the mood.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. It makes you wonder why you're fighting at all. The world's this darn beautiful.
Can't we just get along? There's so much beauty in the world.
And people say these games aren't that deep.
They're
Audrey,
so deep.
you're proving them wrong. one-liner at a time.
Yeah.
All right.
So we have this sweet picture of Dr. Wily, and we're going to use Rush Search here. This is kind of a
with his ominous green aura.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you suppose they added that later, or is that just something he just has if he really focuses hard? Maybe
what you got, buddy? What do you
his
find?
Literacy aura.
Dig
He's
it
got
up.
a nice book
It's like
there.
I found this really dashing picture of Wily dressed as Dracula.
Yeah.
I don't know what to do with it.
Oh, I found this thing. So this is the energy balancer.
Okay.
And this is something that's interesting in the Mega Man X games. It's already built into place in X's systems.
That's what the X is for.
Yeah.
No.
Extra special.
Yeah.
So here with the energy balancer, basically if we pick up a weapon capsule, it'll automatically recharge whatever the lowest weapon is.
Okay,
So for instance,
right.
if we grabbed a capsule right now, the junk shield would automatically start to charge. And in the old games, you had to actually highlight it and manually kind of select.
Yeah, and there was a whole separate little power-up that you had to get that would recharge your weapons and stuff.
Yeah.
And now here's Bass, who is... pretty much the most awesome Mega Man character, I think.
Yeah?
That's just my opinion,
Okay.
but it must be fact. also.
Based
Purple
on
Tiger's
his
pretty
robotic
sweet.
dog
Based
Treble.
on his robotic
Yeah.
wolf Treble.
Wolf, pardon me.
Sorry.
Is it a wolf?
It means
I
just smack you down like that. But,
Dog, wolf, tiger. It's something.
They're all four-legged creatures, but yeah, I love Bass. He's really cool. He's a man of mystery. That's all I will say.
And he shows up earlier in the game as kind of trying to stop Dr. Wily, and then here he's basically just saying, hey, Dr. Wily's too tough for me. Well, he's saying Shade Man's too tough for me, I
Let me go visit
guess.
your daddy. It'll all be okay.
Right, what should I do? I just feel so alone. And Mega Man's like, don't be alone. Let's be friends.
Right.
Why don't you go visit Dr. Light?
Then they go hug and sing Kumbaya by a
They do.
campfire.
We don't see that, but that happens.
Yeah.
You think by the 7th installment that Mega Man would have learned that some people are trying to trick him and aren't always nice.
But that's
no.
why he's got the heart of gold.
That's right.
Don't
He
ever
always
change
believes.
Mega Man.
Yeah.
Never change.
So we're coming into Shade Man now, and I'm going to break out the super adapter again.
Do it.
Now, again, the way that I'm going through this is a little unorthodox. Normally, Shade Man's weak against the Wild Coil, which comes from Spring Man stage.
Yeah.
And we don't have that. But the super adapter, especially with the upgrade we got earlier, see how it kind of follows him a little bit?
You got that homing ability on the fist
and it
now.
just does a ton of damage to him, yeah.
He was so smug, he's like, I can fly.
I was going to hang out up here.
He's like, no, seriously, you can't shoot me up here, guys. Come on, we're going to let him catch us.
Oh, wow.
Wow,
there
look
you go.
at Mega Man's face there. He was unhappy.
He's
not
pretty much
enjoying
in
that.
pain.
Yeah.
He's just throwing him a bone, though. Like, I don't want this.
Got to make him feel good, right?
I don't want him
There
to
we go. See?
self-destruct or anything.
It's like, oh no. Oh, Shade Man, you are really cool. Don't worry about it, man. Just going to punch him there. It's fine.
Oh, now it's all over. He felt cool right before it ended,
He
though.
did. He did.
Yeah.
And still, let's remember the bow at the beginning like we discussed.
Yeah.
Still a
We're all
gentleman.
gentlemen
We can
here.
respect him.
I just got to say, it is super cool to be playing retro games with you. Scott and I,
man, yeah.
have played retro games at lunch a bunch, and it's awesome to be able to bring one of these great virtual console, something for the virtual console or something onto Treehouse Live. This is awesome.
I mean, these are the games that made all of us love games, all these retro games. So.
In fact, I have just gotten a little signal from a little bird on my shoulder that this game is actually available now
Now?
on the Wii U Virtual Console.
Right now?
No, right now.
Run,
So it
don't
wasn't,
walk.
but now it is.
Yeah.
So
That's awesome.
I would recommend that people go check this out. There's also a bunch of other awesome Mega Man titles. So if you get this and like it, go grab another one.
Yeah.
It's a great series.
Yeah.
Really.
And if you get it on Wii U, there are restore points. Not that we use them.
No.
But people do.
But
you could.
right now, go on your Wii U, download Mega Man 7, and you can play Treehouse Live at home. You can just
Your
be us,
own
the home
Treehouse
version.
Live.
Yeah.
All right.
So where are we going
We're gonna
next?
stop
We're heading
being
to Spring Man
goons now.
stage.
Spring Man. Okay.
He's so springy. That's
Yeah.
my comment.
Oh, is that?
So springy.
That's what I've got.
Very original, Audrey.
An ill-tempered slinky. Okay, you know what? I felt bad about Rush Coil earlier. Let's use him here.
Sure.
We don't really need this bolt,
he
but
fails
again,
this
it's about
time,
feelings.
oh.
There
Yeah.
we go. See,
We want to make
Yay.
sure Rush feels included.
That's right.
Yeah.
And again, we've used the junk shield a lot here, but it's just handy when you want to kind of just blow through a stage because, again, kind of reminds me of the leaf shield from Mega Man 2.
Or the bubble lead Mega Man 2 is also super useful.
Oh, yeah.
So
kind of that shows a lot of the pits and stuff like that in Wily's fortress.
Again, with the springs, there's lots of them. It's Spring Man stage.
Yeah, this is sort of his thing. It's a nice little fun house.
Yeah.
Want that one up? Nah, we don't want that one.
I heard
Where's
that.
the key going?
At least someone did.
Look, more springs in the background.
So you sit near me, you're subjected to my puns all day. I'm so sorry.
Mega Man's helmet on a display there.
Yeah, I like
some
that he's got
reason.
all these kind of things in the background. Like, let's do springs, but let's also have these high-tech displays.
Yeah.
Like, we're going to think about Mega Man's, helmet and be jealous.
Wily's like, I can't figure out the right way to do it.
None of these little story details we're adding in about Wily's thought process are actually in there, by the way. That's
so here's a cool thing here. I did this.
Yeah.
On spots like this, you can actually use the slide and just skip right over.
Whoa.
And it's kind of a small thing, but a lot of speedrunners will use this when they're going through a portion just to go right over.
Down there.
Yeah. Yeah, and
is there a weapon
let's
that
have
can take those out?
That's a good call. You know what? We're going to bring our old friend, the Danger Rap, out. The Dinger Rap.
Yeah.
The Dinger Rap. And we're going to send him over there. You go over there.
Yeah.
Like, his friend's sad now.
Okay.
And again, we're going to bring out... Let's bring out the coil. We could use... I normally use the super adapter here. That was a little scary. Just keeping the tension levels high.
Spikes, in case anybody doesn't know, are always instant death.
Always.
In Mega Man.
Or anything, really.
And you
Don't jump on spikes.
You can charge weapons too, certain weapons, like the Mega Buster. You were doing it earlier, but that's kind of a concession they give you. Like, it's not super powerful, but you can charge it up. So.
Yeah.
Well, a lot of these things weren't in the original Mega Man. They sort of added these abilities later
just like
on. You
a little bit
slide,
at a time.
You couldn't charge. He grew more powerful.
So by Mega Man 7,
Man.
we get all these sort of innovations they've been adding bit by bit over the series.
Yeah. So we're coming up here to the top left, and jumping on this guy, you can actually rotate it. So I'm going to wait till he comes back.
You're not going to get a life?
We will. We're going to hang out here. If I jump again, it's going to rotate in the other direction. I've done that so many times where I'll sit here and go, no, I wanted to get, come on. So, kind of wanted to freeze there.
Yeah.
And this opens up a hidden area over here with another hidden item, and this is Otto's Bolt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And this goes back to...
I don't know exactly what that
It
is.
looks
This goes back to the
big,
store
but
that we
yeah.
mentioned previously.
Okay.
And so that's going to... We'll show that off later. We'll get to the store at the end of this run here.
Yes.
And that unlocks some hidden items for us. Now, we're going to also use the Rush Jet. So we've used all of Rush's abilities here.
Okay.
And we're just going to skip over a big portion of this
His favorite
stage.
day ever. He's so useful.
Yeah. He just looks so earnest, too.
It'd be a great story, Rush's big day.
Aww.
As a children's book somebody's waiting to write.
I love it.
Yeah. So, Audrey, do you have a favorite Mega Man title? Just while we're making our way.
Oh, goodness.
Boy.
Of all of them or just the original series?
Okay, you can take one Mega Man game to
I'm getting
a desert
excited
island
now.
with you.
Yeah.
What is
If I
it?
could take one of any
before
of them,
before we take on Spring Man.
Mm-hmm.
I
didn't mean
would
to put you on the
probably
spot.
choose Mega Man X, but of the original series, probably Mega Man 2.
Okay,
Nice.
I'm with you on Mega Man 2. Okay,
So I'm going to make... This is the scary part of the run.
Okay.
I'm going to make a restore point here.
okay,
And what I'm going to try to do, there's a glitch in this game with the Noise Crush. And just real quick, how the Noise Crush works is it bounces off walls.
Right.
And then let's use a charge shot so you can see a much larger shot there.
yeah.
And what we're going to do is we're going to fire it right when I hit this door.
Okay.
And if I'm too early, you're going to see this effect because I will have charged. And if I'm too late, obviously nothing's going
so
to
It
you're-
shoot.
shows the beauty
You're
of
creating a
restore
restore point here, right? Yeah,
Mhm.
so that you can try this again if you need to. And this is something
Yeah.
you weren't able to do with original releases.
Because you
definitely
have
absolutely.
go back.
to be within a frame
Yeah.
Yeah.
to get this right.
It is
Basically like a
it's
single
literally
frame.
one frame. And I took, like, with our capture software here and recorded multiple attempts of this. And I was looking and I said, nope, not that one, not that one. And it's one frame. And
All
I
right,
thought,
let's
No
do this.
pressure.
okay,
Mr.
yeah, no
and Mrs.
pressure. Here we go.
Mentor are
Oh,
watching.
man, it's scary. Oh, on the first try.
Did you get it on the first
I
try?
did get on the first try.
That's how you Olsen it.
I've never seen you do that before. Wait, now
that
what?
was kind
Wait
of
a minute.
awesome. Oh, Spring Man.
He's like, what happened there?
Poor Spring Man.
Oh, it's
He
not
never
his
knew
day.
what hit him.
He didn't. So
Wow.
sad for
But
him.
seriously,
He's just in the middle of his
I've seen you
school.
try like
I know, that was exciting.
10 tries in a row to get that.
This is life, folks.
Yeah. Just like that magic.
Yeah.
All right, so
So we come back and he's
Now
going to tell us about
Daddy
the
will be
coil.
impressed.
Yeah. He's like, I did it on the first try. And he's like, I mean, I guess. That's cool. Could you give Proto Man his shield back? Like, no, he gave that to me. That's mine now.
yeah.
Learn to share with your brother.
That's right.
So I think I'm getting word that we may have time for a bit more of another stage.
I was thinking that too. We
Yeah.
could maybe let's
Let's
show
do
the
it.
store and then check out Slash Man. Or
Yeah.
Slash Man.
Okay.
I was like, I had to double check. Is that?
Yeah, we'll do shop first.
Yeah.
And then maybe check out Slash Man.
Yeah, let's do it.
Ethan, you're always thinking about shopping, aren't you?
I am.
Really?
So here we go.
Got to spend that money.
Here's the thing. I had this random
Send them
thought with the
bolts.
shop. Where is it coming from? Like it just sort of comes out of the sky here and lands. Does it hang out in the sky normally, or does it just sort of jump? Maybe it jumps through town.
Okay, so
thoughts.
it's
Man needs
Deep
invisible
thoughts
in
with
the
Scott
air,
Olsen.
Yeah.
and then it just falls. Yeah, clearly.
So here's Otto. We mentioned his bolt earlier, and Mega
Okay.
Man's all like, "Bam!" We found this in Spring Man
I
stage.
don't know why
yo.
he left it in Spring Man stage,
Yeah.
but
Yeah,
it's his business.
behind a wall too.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Okay, he just installing
Mm-hmm.
a bolt. And I can't remember if
And look at
did
this.
you tell us-
Boom.
Okay.
action pose. This is
Sure.
his big moment.
Celebratory Japanese flag fan.
Right. I can work at full power, which is sort of sad. Previously, he was kind of just giving it,
Yeah.
half effort.
yeah.
Yeah.
Shouldn't leave those things around.
This is his motivational bolt.
Yeah.
Aha.
And so, as he just said, everything is going to be half price now that he has that upgrade.
Okay.
And we can also buy some of the stuff that we've been getting for free. Like, here's the rocket punch over here.
So
the
if you
hyper rocket
hadn't
buster.
known where those things were with Rush Search, you could come and buy them here.
Or you
Yeah.
can save your bolts for a
Exactly.
rainy day.
Exactly. So the energy equalizer, energy balancer, either way. But yeah, everything's here, which is nice. So in case,
There's beat.
yeah. So it's one of those things where there's, what would I say? It's not like you can't miss the power up. If you don't know where to use Rush Search, you can still find a lot of this
Yeah,
stuff
yeah.
in the
Yeah.
game. But it's just, you get it cheaper that way, which
Cool.
is super cool.
So he just slashed prices, and now we're going to slash man's stage.
Oh, nice.
Yeah,
That's,
no, thi-
that's a
this was
segue right
not-
there. That's a transition.
We hadn't planned on this is a little bonus
Transition.
content
Yeah,
there,
yeah.
so
This is great. So no pressure or anything, but I was really bad at this stage, and I did the run multiple times, and every time I'd do the run, something would go wrong.
You can't no pressure yourself.
I know. Well, just sort of throwing it out there, so, if something happens,
If it helps you feel no
this
pressure.
That's right.
is incredible. I love Jungle Dinosaur Robot Stage.
and this is...
We all do, I think.
And here's a minor thing I noticed when I was running through. So you have these logs that you can jump on, right?
Yes.
But if you jump on them right when they first show up, they kind of they have a little give to them, which is rad. So if you wait, see, they just hang out.
Right.
But just having that little extra animation of just as they're kind of coming across the
Yeah.
waterfall there is just
Allows
kind of a
you
nice
to
touch.
link it up.
Yeah, that made me nervous. I'm going to bring the super adapter. This is like my little safety thing. Oh, but it's too small of a platform. There we go. There we
Poor
go.
Rush.
It's good. It's good.
Yeah.
Whenever I lack confidence, I like to bring out the super adapter
You like
because
to
it makes the
throw
jump
away
so
your
much
dog.
easier.
Yep.
I know.
Just that.
It's
that
fine.
fail-safe.
It's fine.
Never give him access to Lassie.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
There we go. Oh, that
We're
guy
all a little
again. We're just
traumatized.
gonna skip over
It's
that
okay.
guy.
Keep going.
Robotic birds flying in the background.
Okay, I'm gonna make another restore point right here.
Okay.
And I'm gonna try something. I was never able to actually get this together. I mean, I was, but
You
it
know
was
what?
inconsistent. I'm gonna use the
believe
rush
in you.
jet, and
You
we're gonna
know-
skip
you
over
know
this
we
whole
believe in
section.
you,
Oh, I
so-
You know we're on
appreciate
your
that.
side.
So using the rush jet, yeah, this is not good.
It's okay.
Okay, so we're gonna hang
Until
out.
you
We're gonna hang
that
out.
was
It's all
actually
good. It's all
You got
good.
hit there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Kept you alive.
And so what you can do here is just skip over a huge portion of this, and this
Yeah,
is
you
something that
can.
speedrunners will also use.
See a robot
But what's
dinosaur.
interesting, and I
Oh,
jumped
dear.
off there, is if Rush gets hit, we're gonna hang out with the robot dinosaur and make him feel
Okay.
good.
Yes.
If Rush gets hit, then he disappears immediately. And if Mega Man gets hit, he'll get kicked back. And so when you're practicing that, one of the things I
Yeah.
tried to do is kind of cheat low, so
Yeah,
that
yeah.
if I did mess it up, Mega Man would get hit as opposed to Rush getting hit and just stopping the entire run.
That robot's been on my Christmas wish list for years. Still
The-
haven't gotten it.
The
Every-
dinosaur
Thanks
robot?
for nothing,
Yeah.
Mom and Dad.
Everyone
you
was
too.
boring. Nope. Not
Still
a
no
few.
Later,
Dino
Sniper
Dog.
Joe.
Yeah.
Or Dino Bot. There you
Okay, now, here we go. Look at that. They went ahead and they made a robotic Tyrannosaurus Rex.
go. If you're gonna
Because why not?
make dinosaurs, go for it.
Oh, absolutely.
I love how there's also like robotic electric fences to keep the robotic dinosaurs in. Just
We
like,
all saw how that
just
works
in
in Jurassic
case.
Park.
Again,
It just powers them up
authenticity.
and makes them more
That's
angry
not
when
like
they
how
touch the
chubby
fence.
he is.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
he's-
go to the gym.
Yeah.
You do nothing all day.
make yourself useful, robot
Really.
Tyrannosaurus Rex.
You're really letting yourself go.
And we're using the Thunderbolt here right on his jaw, actually.
Yeah.
No
And
problem.
that's just little mid-stage boss.
Yeah.
So
So this is cool. We actually get to show off the Scorch Wheel, which we talked about previously.
Right.
So we're going to do that, and we're just going to ruin these
from
trees.
Turbo Man.
Not good for nature.
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
Smokey the Bear is so
but-
mad at you right now.
And I think these trees, pretty sure they're not robotic, which is sort of sad. We've destroyed so many robotic things, and then nature comes along. There's no room
Yeah.
for nature. I'm sorry. You have to go. So this tree here is the one we want to light up, and there you can see
That
is the
boa
ladder.
constrictor's just mean mugging you. Just like,
Oh, yeah,
what
I
are you
know.
doing to my tree?
This is my home.
Oh, it's like, wow, that
You
happens.
straight burned him.
So we have Beat here,
Yeah.
and he's hanging out. And I kind of like that he reacts when you shoot this. He's like, "Hey,
What are
come
you
on." So what you want to do is do a charge shot.
Okay.
Boom. Just blow that right off, and then he's free.
Nice.
He's not gonna. He's gonna hang out.
Yeah.
Beat behaves a little differently in this game
Mhm.
than in some of the previous titles.
Yeah. So we have 4 Beat whistles here.
Okay.
Is what we're seeing. I don't know. Let me think. Basically, the way he works, I'm trying to think. There's a close pit. Oh, you know what there is? I think in this next area. If you fall in a pit, he'll actually pick you up and then pull you back out. In the previous
Okay.
games, he would actually attack enemies.
Right.
So he comes in and is all like, "Hey, man, I'll
should-
save you."
You should try that jump again.
Yeah.
You can do it this time, buddy.
And like you saw in the store earlier, if you use up all 4 of your Beat whistles, you can go ahead and just
Right.
buy more there.
Yeah.
All right.
All right. You don't have much time left. Let's see if you can get this guy.
Okay, cool. So we're going to go ahead and I'm going to use an energy tank just because
Okay.
I want to be prepared, you know?
Yeah.
So we're going to do that. And then we're going to use the freeze cracker. All right. Nah, we don't
The
need a
what
restore
now?
point. We can do this. The freeze cracker.
Okay. We're
And
getting
so-
into new
We're
territory. Then.
intrigued.
Like,
Go
I am.
on.
Yeah.
This is a bold new frontier.
This is exciting.
Okay, this is Slash Man.
Yeah, he wants to be an X-Man. And I'm not
Sure.
gonna say who, but just but he wants to be.
Ex-person?
Yeah.
Super
Like a
Saiyan
cross between
X-person.
Oh, that's true.
Sabretooth
I'm sorry.
and Wolverine.
And so he hangs out and he just throws this boss. He
Yeah.
always made me so frustrated when I was practicing because he just jumps up there and throws like all this fruit at you or whatever. And if it hits you on the head, I'm gonna have it hit me on the head because it is kind of funny. Here,
Okay.
come here. Let's see if I want him to do it, if he'll actually do it. Oh, come on, man.
Oh, he totally tricked
Cooperate.
you out there.
But if it lands on the ground, as you can see, it sticks you to the ground.
Yeah.
And you have to kind of just mash your buttons to break
Yep.
out of that. Here we go. And now Mega Man.
Oh, it's like you
Now
can't
he
do that
feels
on
like
television.
a fool.
Yeah, I'm just running around. I'm all embarrassed. It's a psychological battle in addition to, an actual battle. And so we're just going to keep using this. As you can see, it does a lot of damage to him. The Scorch Wheel also works pretty well on
Right.
him. But this seems to be more effective from when I was playing.
He likes being at a cozy
Oh, I'm just
temperature.
gonna miss that one.
That's his thing.
Yeah. But again, it'll be, one player will prefer one weapon.
Yeah.
Another will go a totally different strategy. And
Yeah.
like Audrey was saying earlier, that's the freedom that these games allowed.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Even back, you remember Mega Man 2 with the Metal Blade? And you could just
Oh,
use that
man.
to just ruin, like,
Yeah.
actually Metal Man, I think it was
Oof.
1 hit or 2 hits or something like that.
Yeah.
But then it also worked against some of the other
It
bosses.
worked against a ton of them.
You kind of annihilated this guy. I want to see you try one more stage.
Okay,
Yeah.
Do you have
okay,
it in
let's
you?
do it. Let's do it.
do it.
Yeah, I think we can do it.
All right.
The next people don't need their segment. Let's
Yeah,
just keep
it's
going.
fine. We're just gonna it'll just a whole day.
Yeah.
And if we
Oh
beat the
my
game, we'll just start it over again. And we'll show the first 4 and
Yeah. Gosh, you just can't please this
I know.
guy.
It's like, yeah, it's okay, but it's limited. And the range isn't so good.
So we've got for Smash, we've got our wall of people who've claimed fighters over here. I think Rob.
V-Rob.
Watch Rob. He'll be doing some Mega Man action later, I think.
Oh, awesome.
So we'll have to watch out for that.
And speaking of that, that's funny you mentioned it. The Slash Claw is another move that's actually in Smash
Oh,
Brothers that Mega
okay.
Man has.
Oh.
Yeah,
Huh.
so we get a chance to see both of the Mega Man 7 moves.
Do they pull those from
here.
like all across the Mega Man series?
Yeah.
To put it. Okay.
They do.
That's cool.
Which is super cool. So apparently, turns out Bass, not a super cool guy. Bass.
Base Bass.
Sometimes he's a fish.
Fish
Sometimes
version.
he's
Spoilers.
sometimes he's a subwoofer. It's fine. And so he just ruined the lab. And Mega
Okay.
Man's like,
Oh,
gosh,
yeah,
this guy
I
that I
hadn't
just
noticed
met,
that.
maybe I shouldn't have given him the keys to the house, Dad. Sorry.
Yeah.
And this is not going to help make him the favorite.
And you
the
wonder
favorite
why I
robot.
don't love
He had
you.
a big rager here.
Yeah.
Dr. Wily. Uh-oh.
Now you can tell that he's kind of covering Dr. Light here, but Dr. Light and Dr. Wily,
Yeah.
both very different people because one has a red tie and one has a blue.
Right.
And I think that's
And one's
really what
Wily.
it comes down to. Yeah,
Okay.
for sure.
And it's funny, Dr. Wily actually used to be a colleague of Dr. Light.
That's true.
But then
yeah.
he got all jealous because Dr. Light was brilliant. So he was like, I'm going to go be evil instead. He used
Yeah.
that voice, too. It was really, really childish.
He's never been known for his
No.
maturity,
Yeah.
Dr. Wily.
He flew off on his little spaceship. And
So this will be cool. Once he finishes laughing,
ha 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 ha.
yeah, we're going to go off and we're going to check out his fortress. Come to think of it, I've got to be a little jealous if I'd be Dr. Light. He's got this lab, and that seems to be about it. Dr. Wily has not just a fortress, but a fortress in every game, and that means
Robot
just a whole
army.
castle.
But Dr. Light has love.
He's made a lot of really good real estate investments, and I think that's kind of what
something.
helps him out. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow.
So like a lot of the other,
I'm just staring in wonder
well,
at Dr. Wily's
it's
castle.
impressive.
Every time.
he really makes good use of skulls in his design elements.
He likes
And
what he likes. It's okay.
Yeah.
Just that tenacity to keep coming back
Yeah.
every time Mega Man destroys all
Life
his robot
lessons,
masters.
kids.
Yeah.
His
Even
whole
if you're
fortress
evil, just
set up.
keep
Mhm.
going.
He rebuilds again.
Yeah.
He's really dedicated.
Yeah.
Sounds like you're cheering for him. One of these days he'll get that darn Mega Man. And his
break
little
out-
dog, too.
Yeah. Ah.
So
You
this
get in
is
your bubble.
This is getting pretty close to the end of the game.
Mm-hmm.
And man, the Dr. Wily's fortress, castle, whatever you want to call it, was always pretty intimidating. These multi-stage affairs to get through the whole thing.
Yeah. And this is pretty cool. So they're introducing an element here. And again, Mega Man is just great game design. They throw this platform at
switch.
you here. And yeah, and basically when you're jumping out, the lights all turn off in the stage, but they put you in a place where if you fall, there's no pit. You
Right.
can't kill yourself here. And so you can get the idea of, oh, okay, this is the concept, and then they, complicate it as you go through the stage.
Yep.
Unfortunately, I don't know that we're going
We'll have to just leave it here, I think,
execute
right?
this
Yep.
concept.
That's fine.
So, yeah.
But no, it's awesome. We got to see more than we even planned for or
Yeah.
practiced
Yeah,
for.
Yeah, that was
great.
fantastic.
Again, Mega Man 7. It's on the eShop right now.
I know.
If you liked what you saw,
Yeah.
you know you did. Go check it out. Next up, we have Hyrule Warriors. We're all